All right, you guys, big time because of sales episode, big changes happening to both our newsletter and our podcast. And in this episode, you are meeting our new co-host, Jake Pastick. We dive into it in this a little bit, why Jake is the guy, what we're trying to do with this, what we're going to bring to you guys. But this is the first episode. So talk a little bit about our game plan. We both talk about one deal that we closed in the past that changed everything for us in the way that we see sales, business, earnings, life, a lot of other things. So we're going to be running some little bit shorter episodes here to start, keep them fun, fresh, easy listens for you guys. And I mean, I'm not going to say too much more. Just listen to the podcast. It's pretty fun. Before we get into it, you guys, still, same as always, please go down and subscribe to our newsletter, the Because of Sales newsletter. This brand, Because of Sales, is a newsletter first media brand where every week we're taking the best of the best when it comes to sales from the internet, putting it into a nice little newsletter. We're sending it to you every Wednesday morning, and you can read it with a coffee, less than 5 minutes, stay up to date with what's happening in the world of sales. Go subscribe now, take 5 seconds. Now into the pod. All right, you guys, to some new beginnings here. You might be wondering, this guy Jake, he was just on the last episode. What's going on? We're already running repeat guests. You run out of people? Well, Jake is the new Because of Sales co-host. A lot of big changes happening behind the scenes, and one of them being bringing Jake on. I just thought it'd be a lot more fun, a lot more sustainable, a lot more interesting for you guys. And so we've got Jake. Jake, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks everybody for showing up. Appreciate y'all. Happy to be here, man.
So if you haven't seen the episode prior, we dove into Jake's story, his sales come up, what he's up to most recently. Actually, since then, there's something pretty big, and we can talk about it if you want. But Jake is a dude who's lived the sales thing just like I have, and I think has great perspective on all this. And honestly, every time we talk about something interesting. So our goal here with this podcast is to help you guys spark ideas that make your job easier, help you gain more leverage, talk about stuff that's going on, and maybe just be a little entertainment outlet for you amongst it all. So where do we start, man? I do want to talk about why, you're here, why all of this, and also your alignment with coming onto this and what you're hoping for. But yeah, I mean, I kind of already told him, I was like, yeah, Jake's the guy. We talk about interesting stuff. There's never a dull conversation. But I guess on your end, man, like, why were you intrigued by the opportunity? Transparently, Because of Sales doesn't just absolutely print cash yet. So why are you investing your time into this? Fill the people in a little.
Yeah, I think 2025 was a year for me of reflection, getting married, wanting to start a family, all these kind of things culminated into rethinking what I was doing for work, rethinking how I was using the 11.5-inch screen in front of me. And I kind of had conversations with you even before we discussed this on, okay, it's now time to start to think in longer timeframes, not just next week, next month, next year. What's the 5-year? Like, how do we actually start to map backwards from generational wealth and, more importantly, like financial independence? And for me, what that looks like is just financial abundance, because I think you and I are aligned on, like, when the time does come for family, we want to be present. We want to be able to provide at a high level. I like how you put that. And I'm very much the same way. And so you work backwards and you write out what needs to happen for that to be possible. It means taking on long-term projects like this. I don't know who said it first, maybe Naval, who I'm a huge fan of, but like long-term games with long-term people. This is one of those things. And so just kind of like when you and I started talking about it, it was like, well, why wouldn't I do this? This sounds awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, the way that I see this, and I know I've ran it by you this way, is like, this isn't like a 1 year kind of thing. Like, if we end up doing this and every week we come together and film a podcast and we hate talking to each other, then maybe it is a 1 year thing. I don't see that being the case. This is another thing I was thinking of. We've already worked together for maybe 2 years on different things. And so it's like bringing you into this. I feel like I should be doing more than I am in terms of like making sure that this is covered, or you've got this, or you've got that. When in reality, I mean, we've already had kind of like a working relationship in different ways. And I mean, I just think it's a natural progression. We're both at that stage, just like you mentioned. It's like, look, we know how to make money with sales. Like, that's a given, that's foundational. Everyone should learn how to do that. Now, like, what's the higher leverage thing with the knowledge that we have, with the access that we have? And here we are, Because of Sales podcast. So with you, man, I've talked a lot about inspiration, not so much publicly, but with you on kind of the direction that we'd love for this to go. I would love for this to go, and we at this point. But, kind of jumping on here and having an honest talk from two guys who are actively pushing things forward in sales. I have a sales related business. We help people land jobs. I'll let you talk about however much you want to, but big time new role that you're going to be helping a lot of people sell a lot of things. And this is just a spot for us to come weekly, talk about what's going on, talk about what's working, have cool people on, and just a little creative outlet that can snowball into something big. So
for sure. Absolutely. So for those that don't know, a few of you out there do know, I just joined on with Elite Coaching Academy, ECA is what it's called. And evolution one of this is coaching fitness coaches, coaching coaches offer. So I'm officially in the coaching coaches game, but it's now turned into more or less plug and play back office operations, sales, done for you agency. So we're basically taking fitness operators from 0 to 10K, 10 to 50K, and then 50K to wherever they want to go. And specifically, I'm going to manage and run the business practice of taking them from 50K to wherever they want to go. It's a very different skill set, but we offer plug and play for everything. We're the #1 most active community on WAP. So it's bumping. Every single day I wake up to a couple hundred messages of fitness operators from all over the world. I think we're in 9 countries right now. So if you're a fitness coach or want to start a fitness coaching business, I'm your guy. I will get you connected, and it's kind of full circle for me coming back into the world of fitness and sports. And I played college basketball. Plan A was playing hoops, and I got hurt. But a lot of our clients are former athletes themselves. So I'm amongst friends and peers.
Yeah. How do you find yourself in a position like this? Because in the last episode, man, we talked about you're just a sharp dude who stacked one skill after another, talked to the right people. Just you're like always directionally progressing, but you might go off on tangents just like all of us do, right? But without getting too in detail, you guys listening, this is a really solid role, really, really solid opportunity with share opportunity, long-term potential, one that rivals like extremely serious W-2 10, 15, 20 year roles. So like, how do you find yourself in this? I mean, I think the title is director of operations. Was that right?
Yep.
So like you were a college hooper turned account manager turned sales rep and then Wi-Fi money guy. And now you're like the guy pulling the string. So like, what would you say attributed to this coming about?
A lot of luck for sure, but time in the game. Our buddy Cole talks about this a lot. Cole Angel out there. Go follow him. Go hire his agency by all means. Time in the game. So now I'm probably year 3 or 4, depending on how the timelines work out and what you want to consider that. 3 or 4 years into high ticket. And I think I've done a good enough job at the very baseline level of sharing my work publicly, being publicly available, building some sort of personal brand, whether that's in public spaces like Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, or hopping on podcasts and having face on camera or making the 90-second shots I've put on my profile, or by doing good work for really talented people behind closed doors. Probably a little bit of both, but this was someone that hired me, texted me on Wednesday morning. We hopped on a call Wednesday afternoon. He said, I've designed this role for you. Here's the offer. We can take the next 2 weeks to discuss specifics. We'd love to have you on, but if you say no, we will scrap the role and probably not hire anybody. And that was because we've worked together.
Yeah, they literally built the role around you, the guy with the skill set. And they said we would scrap this if you're not down.
Yeah. So I had just a body of work and proof, like tangible proof that I could tie back to like actual revenue numbers. And so when they were trying to solve this problem that their current client base was coming to them for, he was like, oh, I know the guy that can do this because he's proven his work and it's obvious.
Kind of on that same note, man, what's your perspective on why you're the guy that I reached out to for this as well? Because this is not like a sales role, right? It's not like I'm like, Jake, we need a sales guy, come do this. But like, what's your side of all of that and how that happened?
Man, it's a really good question. I pride myself in being easy to work with. I think that's probably one of it, one aspect for sure. And I have proof of that because people tell me that. So either they're all lying or that it's all true. It's one or the other. I'm not going to concern myself with that. And I think in the same way that when people ask my wife her favorite thing about me, she'll say my curiosity. And I think that does come out in my work too, where I think by working with people, they see there's not something out there that I will say no to learning about. And I am also, I don't really know how to put this. Other people put this in a good way, but I'm like very biased toward action. And like I'm okay with like just kind of doing something to see how it turns out. And if that takes a week and then I give up on it, that's okay. But at least I started. So probably it would be like, one, you've worked with me before, I'm easy to work with. And two, it's like we don't know the exact levers we have to pull to make Because of Sales a media empire. But I know, and you probably know too, you or I will never shy away from at least trying it.
All right, guys, quick break in the pod here with Jake to talk about the sponsor of this week's podcast, the Serial Sales Community. The Serial Sales Community is a business that I've run. It's a business that Jake's been a customer of. He's also been a team member of, in which we help people land 1099 remote sales jobs. You're probably already good at sales. You probably do well where you're at, but you might have the itch to do something more in terms of location freedom. Maybe it's earnings. Maybe it's less of your boss breathing down your back all day and nailing you about quota. I don't know. I don't know your situation, but I do know what we do over here, and we help people like that break into the world of appointment setting and closing. We don't focus on sales training. We focus on landing jobs. And it's a process we've done time and time again over the last 3.5 years. We've been pretty dang good at it. And I think you should check it out at the second link in the description if you're interested. If you do check it out, you book a call and you talk with our team, mention Because of Sales will give you 5% off any membership you choose. And that's the ad. Now back to the pod. At the end of the day, dude, I think, you put your foot on the gas a little bit and you keep going long enough. It's a podcast. It's a media brand. You post, you get views. Over time, you get more views, then you get more views. Like, it's not rocket science. And I keep telling myself that. I mean, honestly, I think your breakdown is correct. Like, why I wanted to bring you on in particular. Well, you have the specific knowledge. I've already said it a bunch. You have the perspective of the corporate side. You have the career route. You also have the 1099 route. You also have business ownership experience and with what you're doing now too. And you kind of get it, man. Like, more than I'm interested in speaking about just like sales job, how to send a cold email, which I'm sure we'll discuss these things. You get like the deeper part of this, which is like bending the world to get what you want, kind of. And then doing that, like using your skill of sales to get, a part-time decent income that we talked about in the last episode or whatever. So this podcast too is definitely somewhat inspired by the My First Million crew as well. Both of us subscribers, listeners. And so if you guys ever listen to that, we're kind of on the same page and taking that approach where, we have some guests on, we have some topics. I would love to do some like interactive stuff, like have you guys submit stuff, talk about that. I mean, really anything. We'll have episodes probably where it's just me interviewing someone, me solo, Jake interviewing. So that's why I was asking in the last one, if you guys don't like this guy, let me know.
Yeah, we need the market feedback if I'm a liability right away.
But no, and then above that too, man, I mean, we've done a lot of work together. Salespeople are pretty crazy, but you're also just like, you've shown me that you're super like reliable. You're not a liability. The last thing I need when bringing someone into like a front facing company position is someone that is a loose cannon, We definitely know some of those guys. I mean, yeah, for those of you that don't know, like Jake and I, we met through Twitter probably, and then you jumped into like super early version of the community that I was running and ended up working through that, getting into the closing space, doing well, coming on like part-time with our community and helping with sales calls there. It's like, if this guy could run for about a year taking sales calls for my baby, like my business, and work in, an agency capacity, like he's reliable. He passed the test. So like, we'll give it a shot. Anyways, guys, that is kind of the rundown of how Jake ended up here, why Jake is the guy, and why I hope you guys like him. Now, maybe we get into some sales stuff. So I had one thing. Did I send you the link?
Yeah, I've got it up.
Okay, cool. I have this cool tool. Shout out my man, Brandon Harris. I get the best of the best from the sales subreddit. And this one came in from a few days ago. The subject line or the title is 2.2 million deal came in today. Not much else to say, but don't have anywhere else to brag. Commercial HVAC. He wrote a nice little essay under here that I'm not going to read, but it inspired me. I think this is a great way to kind of kick things off and let people know a little bit more about you. It inspired me for us to talk about one deal that comes to mind that completely changed everything for us in life, in sales, in the way that we see money, in whatever way you want to choose, right? I have a deal in mind. I think Jake has a deal in mind. And I think that's what we're going to talk about. And this is going to be a pretty short and sweet episode. So do you want to go first, Jake? You want to talk about that deal?
Yes, I do. So it was a $3,500 coaching ticket that I made and closed myself. And this was back in 2020. And it was during COVID. I had quit my corporate job. And I think I told that story on the last podcast too. And it was kind of the culmination of how do you make an offer? What is an offer? How do you make Wi-Fi money? It was all based on the same core principle I have today, which is like, how do I find leverage? How do I achieve financial independence? How do I start to build wealth? Okay, some sort of digital product, we're just now having a renaissance again, is going to be in the mix here. How do I do this? And hadn't even designed fulfillment or anything, and closed a $3,500 deal, collected a card for the first time on camera. It worked. Now, that client churned because I sucked at fulfillment. But like up front, my first Wi-Fi money was a $3,500 PIF. And I was like, oh, this is all real. And of course, once you taste what that drug feels like, you want more.
Yeah. And you tasted the fulfillment drug as well.
Yep. And I was like, oh, there's more to this game.
I actually just like getting the money. That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah. Wait a minute. This is what I like.
Yeah. Had you sold anything that was like less expensive online prior to that?
I think I had made like a $17 PDF and made a few $100. I think $500 or something like that. So that wasn't like my first like Wi-Fi money coming in while I sleep. That was fun too. But for sure, my first high ticket one. I was like, oh, yeah, I get it.
How'd you like get this guy on a sales call?
Referral. I had actually started running ads and my buddy sent him my ad. So I don't even know how to attribute that, but that was also my first ad set. That was my fourth call. And I was like, oh, easy game. Here we go. It's one out of every four I'm going to close. I've spent 10x my ad spend.
And that just like unlocked the world of like, hey, I can close a lot of money on the internet and probably make this a real thing.
Yeah, for sure. And it was like everyone's journey. It was how to make money online. Easy business ideas, side hustle ideas. I actually completed it and like collected the cash and it was in my account. And at that time, that was 3 times rent. And it was like, oh, okay, well, this might unlock a whole lot.
So it was a how to make money online offer, like just a generalized.
Oh, the offer was basically teaching real estate agents how to develop a DM and content funnel for leads on specifically Instagram.
Interesting.
It was a niche, yeah. And it was so hot at that time because the market was just coming out of being just searing hot. It was like during COVID, post-COVID. And so everyone needed new lead gen. They were like, oh man, I'm going to have an online presence. Like it was very much the concentric middle of a lot of realizations and insights and hot market. I would think it would have been, if everyone was doing that, we would have been fine.
Did you end up selling more of those or like you realize like, okay, I just made 3x my rent in one, hopefully one call close, not two, whatever. And then it's like, okay, well, let me spend more on ads. Or like, what did you do after that?
Did not roll back into ad spend. Lesson number 1. I think overall, I think maybe sold 11 to 15 units. And the reason I say that is because there was some referrals in there. And then I had like another tier. So I had a couple downsells, a couple upsells. And that business did okay, but it came to the realization of it is a done with you service. And it requires a ton of buy-in from your clients. And I didn't really have fulfillment mapped out to keep them accountable to the things they needed to do to get ROI back on what they paid me. So I just turned out everybody. I only got maybe 2 testimonials because people realized everyone wanted to be able to drive leads via their Instagram. And then they realized what they had to do. And they were like, I'll pass.
Dude, that's a rite of passage for online money. You sell something that you're like, yeah, I should be able to do this, no problem. And then you're like, okay, now I actually have to figure it out. And you end up spending late nights, early mornings, some tough Slack messages or texts. All the most successful people have like some sort of recollection of that moment, you know?
Yeah, you probably did too, man. It was like we talked about the different offers we've had. You've talked about trying to run Facebook ads for local service businesses, copywriting, email, like rite of passage, man. Rite of passage.
That's another, I mean, I talked about it, but like I've tried all those things. Obviously, we both know they all work, right? Copywriting, e-com, SMMA, theme pages, all of it. But yeah, I know you've also tried a lot of that. So like we can kind of jam on that. I know a lot of the people listening to this too, they're salespeople. They probably like their job, but maybe they're looking for exposure into like the next logical step. It's like, I have this skill, I have this money. I would like to do something that provides me more, freedom or location freedom. So I think it's cool. We can talk about that.
On that note too, real quick, I had this realization the other day. I wrote about it in my journal, and it was like, why is that? What is it about salespeople that we eventually all get to a point where we're like, well, I kind of want to do this thing on my own? And I think it is having so much visibility into serving clients and seeing what their lifestyle is like. And like when you work for like a CRM company or you work for a company that's a vendor, you see all these different types of businesses and you kind of play in your head. You have these little mini moments where you're imagining yourself in their shoes. Eventually you go, I can sell. Now I want to build. Some of us do, some of us don't.
Especially if you can see like, dude, this company that I'm selling for, like, wow, they're really making a lot more money than me, or like they're super bloated. And if they did this, they could make this much more. But if I just did this, I could make this much. And like, I mean, I already know how to generate the leads and close them. Like, let me just like get my buddy to do the back end stuff, you know? So like, yeah, it's a slippery slope. It's a good one for sure. But I saw something from, I think you know him, John Mao. He was the second guest or first guest we ever had on. We worked with, absolutely blew up, but he posted a video today. I just saw it on the timeline where he was like, I don't remember the exact words, but the idea was that like sales is a launch pad, basically. Like, yes, it can be a career, but it's a better launch pad than it is a career into entrepreneurship. And I didn't watch the video, but I saw the thumbnail and the title. I was like, that's true, man. So not to get too off topic, we'll talk about ascension from sales. We'll also talk about sales in here. I could share a little bit about this deal that's top of mind for me. I was in roofing sales. It's how I kind of got my start in roofing. And of course, I default to like the biggest deal, but it has a cool story. So we get called out. I work for a pretty reputable company, or worked for. We get called out for, they see like a little mold on their roof. Mold is scary, right? So they're like, hey, we have this mold. It seems to be growing. I think there's a leak in the roof. I go up on this massive house, dude. Like, I couldn't tell you how much the house, I probably should have looked it up. It's multi-million if I had to guess. Nicest neighborhood in the city in San Antonio. I go up there. I'm like, yep, y'all definitely have a leak. It would be, I don't know, $500-600 to repair it. It's like a fancy roof, whatever. A little difficult than your average repair. But then as I'm walking around on the roof, in San Antonio, we have a lot of hail, and I start to see like little hail dents and dings. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, how old is this roof? When was the last storm that came through here? Next thing you know, I have like a full 10 by 10. If anyone knows roofing, you go and you find a 10 by 10 section, 10 foot by 10 foot. And if you can find in there, I think it's like 8 to 12 hail hits that meet a certain diameter. Usually it's like, I could be completely wrong, like 1.5 inches plus. There's a good chance that this roof could be fully covered by insurance. Anyways, I don't remember if we sell the repair, but months and months and months later, I'm talking like 7-8 months, going back and forth with insurance, with the homeowners. It's like a designer shingle. This is in the middle of COVID. Designer shingle that they don't have in stock. We have to get it from overseas. We have custom like copper flashings, like just bougie stuff, dude. And months and months and months later, I closed this deal for $120,000 residential roof. And I think my commission rate was like 8%. And if you run the numbers, I'm a kid, yeah, like first year out of college, the opposite of a sales guy. And I already closed some deals. I was starting to make some money. I was finding my groove. And I closed this deal that it paid me somewhere in the ballpark, I think a little bit over $10,000 commission. And I think I probably had $10,000 to my name. And my mind was blown, basically. My mind was blown for a lot of reasons. Obviously, that's a lot of money. But I was like, dude, I just made what I used to make in 3 months driving the Amazon truck in, well, it was 7-8 months. It wasn't like full-time 7-8 months of work, but like it was emails back and forth. But like I made that from one deal. Not to mention, like I have all these other deals that I've closed in this time that I'm still closing. This is just one of them. And I was like, dude, there's no way that you make this sort of money this easily and don't absolutely get throttled in terms of like what your expectations are around earning money and exchange of value and services for said money. And it changed everything for me. Like financially, it changed a lot because my rent, you talked a little bit about your rent. My rent was $600 a month in the like pretty tough area in San Antonio, downtown. It was like formerly government housing and they just transitioned it out. So there was still a lot of like tough people in the complex. I literally just paid for how much rent? I don't know. A lot of rent. Honestly, like that deal and like the compounding of the deals after much smaller, I think gave me the confidence to use sales as the launch pad that we were just talking about. One thing about that one in particular, I actually have a video of it. I used to make like edits and stuff. I was doing the social media stuff and dude, it was super steep. So part of the reason why it was like so expensive that you charge more based on how steep it is. This one was like a 14 on 12 pitch, which if you don't know roofing, I've been out the game for a while. 14 on 12, it's not walkable. It's hard to work on. You have to tie up harnesses, everything. And you charge a lot of money for that. And that kind of ties back to the reason I got out of roofing. One of them was like, this is dangerous. Roofing's like the third most dangerous, I guess, career in the world, honestly. I think that's the stat, or third or fourth, like most injuries. And the launchpad of the money, the continued earnings, the low expenses, and how dangerous this was like a catalyst for me getting into the space that we both spent a lot of time in, which is the remote closing. So
What a good deal. Obviously, you were among other sellers in the company. Did you have any friends or people in your circle or college friends that were also in sales?
no, dude, not really. And if I did, they weren't doing anything notable.
Right, same. I wasn't in an environment where sales was sexy. It was almost frowned upon. Like in banking and consulting, like it's like, oh, you're a salesperson, and it's like, oh yeah, no. And then again, to your point, like I just had the moments where I was like, I don't know, I think I like sales. I think I really like this. This is nice.
Yeah. I mean, I went to school for project management and construction science and management. Most people take that degree and they go be project managers, especially where I'm from. A lot of new construction residential neighborhoods. Most of these people end up project managers for a new construction neighborhood somewhere 45 minutes outside the city. Just sucks. And they're getting like 60K a year, which sounds nice. They're working a ton. Drive time is insane, a lot of pressure. And I ended up in project management in roofing. And then I slid over to estimating, which estimating was actually sales. And because I learned estimating in school a little bit, it gave me the confidence and I just leaned into it. But nobody was working the type of job I was. And honestly, I don't think anyone was making the money unless they went on to start like their own construction company, which comes with a lot of ups and downs.
Interesting.
There's a lot of deals like that. Like you mentioned the online one. I could name a few that come to mind as I start charging more for services and getting proof of concept. But that was a deal. I'm trying to remember the specifics. I remember sitting in my van with like the check of the down payment. Basically, they pay the down payment, insurance pays the rest. I'm like, this is the golden ticket, dude. Like I probably have a photo of it somewhere. But yeah, insane moment.
Is this going to be the last episode we film before New Year's? Or we'll squeeze in one more, right?
Yeah. We'll have one more. Yeah, we'll have one that goes out on New Year's Eve.
Cool. We should like a year-end recap, something like that. But
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, yeah, I mean, dude, we're just about where we wanted to be time-wise. I think Jake and I discussed running these for about 30, 35 minutes a pop, make it something easy you guys can listen to as you commute, have some downtime, go to the gym, go on a walk, go on a run, whatever. It makes it easy for us, keeps it fresh, keeps it fun. So I don't really have much else planned. I think we'll probably wrap it there, but I will ask you guys, we should probably start asking in the beginning, like, comment, subscribe. This is a new era. We're going all in. It's going to be pretty fun. I'm excited for it. I think Jake's excited for it.
definitely.
Anything you guys want to see, whether it's like, I guess, audience stuff that we bring in and talk about, guests, solo episodes, deep dives on certain topics, like anything you guys want to see, drop it in the comments. We see all the comments and we really want to just build something that is fun long term and actually you guys like listening to. So Jake, any parting words for our guests?
No, DM me if you want quarter zip suggestions to send to your spouse for Christmas. I got you.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we should throw this out there too. We're in the business of trying to monetize. We want to do so by providing value to you guys. And we're just making a lot of like low ticket digital products. If there's any particular topic that you guys would love to be deep dived into and us to go through our network and use our platforms to go find the best of the best and interview them and put something together that helps you do something in particular as it pertains to sales, comment that down below and we'll go make it. So that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.
See y'all.
All right, you guys, that was the pod with Jake. Start of a new era. I'm excited to bring this to you guys. I think it's going to make it a lot more fun, a lot more engaging, sustainable for us, and something that you guys can count on every week to listen to and just enjoy as a sales rep. As a sales rep out there, I feel like there's not very good options for sales focused media. Like there's sales podcasts, but maybe they're too tactical or they don't apply to you, or these guys suck. They're boring. Hopefully we're not that, but we're just trying to bring something that salespeople listen to and they're like, yeah, these are my people. They get it. And this is fun. And I like this. And I look forward to it every Wednesday. And, however you guys see that happening, I mean, always drop a comment below. Let us know what you want to see. We want to bring you guys something good, something fresh. So thank you guys for listening. Before you go, if you didn't already, go subscribe to our newsletter. First link in the description. Always on that, we're going to take stuff from all over the internet, what's working, what's not working, jokes, memes, AI, all of the above, write it into a sub 5-minute read for you so you can get more leverage out of your sales job, make more money, or whatever you want to do. So go subscribe to that. It's free, always has been, always will be. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for listening. See ya.